Okay, so I'm back. It should be good now. Let me know if you guys can see me. Um, Everything's good. What's up, Henrique or Henrique? I'll go ahead and get started here in a second. I'll go ahead and post the recording. This. Yeah, okay. What's up, guys? I appreciate you guys coming back. So, please let me know you can see my screen. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Can you tell me what you're seeing exactly? Because I'm trying to fix this. It was working at the beginning, and last week it was completely fine. But please let me know what you're seeing. I do have a phone to watch the stream from, and I can see it on the screen. It's showing, like on my end. Um, 'Cause I can see it on my screen. That's why I'm asking. I don't know why on your end you guys can't see it. Okay, it's good now, or is it not good? I see Sedexy 2K says it's good. Okay, we're good. There's probably just a delay. I'm gonna go and get going. I'll go and check the chat on my phone. Yes, I'm not using OBS. I'm using Streamlabs. Um, okay, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna go ahead and look at my phone as well and check the chat, and if there's any issues, I'll see it right away. Just give me 1 second here to pull that up. Um, okay, perfect. So I'm gonna be looking at the chat on my phone now. Real quickly, used car, again, corrective structure into a consolidation low that I think will continue to the upside. This is one of my high conviction bags. I do think we go higher here in the next few days. Same thing with Harambe. Correction. We called this here back around, what is this, 0.014, about 2x lower. It then proceeded to 4x. Now it's pulling back again. Again, this is corrective. I want to help you guys train your eyes to see corrections like this, where it comes down, chops down, and this to me is corrective structure, meaning sell pressure is slowing down. Sell pressure is slowing down, and I'm expecting buy pressure to take back over again. As you can see here, that's exactly what we saw down here. Same kind of thing. You see lack of consolidation, choppy behavior, buy pressure took back over. That's exactly what I'm expecting here on Harambe and used car. So I see the chat. Everything looks good for now. I will check Vaughn speed for you, Alias. Let's just go to that right now. So again, to kind of conclude what I was saying, used car and Harambe I both see going back to the upside here very shortly. They are both corrective right now. Let's go to Vaughn speed for Alias. And if you're coming on right now for the first time, my name is Bren. Bossman and I are both partners in this Telegram. I kind of handle the chart side. I do run these live streams once every week on Sundays, so I appreciate you guys coming on. Vaughn speed. So Vaughn speed is corrective as well. It's just a very deep correction. Now, as you can see, like I was saying, normally with these corrections, you're looking for a lack of consolidation. The reason I say that is because consolidation, usually, like you're looking at 1-2 weeks of consolidation, especially on meme coins, usually that means that you're going to see some type of major top. But corrections that lead to more upside, as you can see in this one, it doesn't consolidate up top. So that's step number one. We're seeing that here on Vaughn Speed, a lack of consolidation. We're seeing choppy behavior, multiple bounces. Once meme coins pick back up here in the next few days, the bigger quote unquote like blue chip ones, the ones that have been around for a while, I could definitely see Vaughn Speed heading back to the upside once more. Again, you want to see a shift like this. I'd like to see it come back to 0.04, like another 2x bounce from here to kind of confirm that move has started. but it looks very good. I personally still have a small bag from around 0.03, and if I were to see a shift like this, um, sorry, I was just reading a comment. After we see the shift like this, I would likely add to my position. For now, I'm focusing on other opportunities. Henrique says, I'm still new to this. I just don't get one thing. How are you sure it will go up after a correction? Okay, so like I said, there's certain characteristics. Really, there's three phases that any market or any asset is in at any given time. An impulse is a big move in one direction for an extended period of time, kind of like what we're seeing. This is an example of an impulse. Big move up. This is what you want to be catching. In between those impulses, there's corrections, right? As you can see here, correction came back up, correction went back up. And then there's peaks, which are tops or bottoms. Each of these three phases has distinct characteristics, right? So after an impulse or just really at all, you're trying to determine whether the structure that you're seeing right now is a peak, meaning it's forming a bigger top for a reversal, or if it's a correction. Corrections, which we'll kind of stick to right now, lack of consolidation, right? For a correction, corrections oftentimes just come down out of nowhere. There's no consolidation up top. Like, see, there's very few up here. It sees multiple bounces and is very choppy. Corrections are a reflection of sell pressure. When something's chopping down slowly, that means sell pressure is just barely barely in control, and eventually buy pressure will take back up over. It means that people are still buying, but sell pressure is just a little bit stronger. Whereas a big move down, it's kind of hard to see in here, like something like this, or like something. It's kind of it's hard to see on meme coins. I can show you on Bitcoin, but to me, this is a correction for the reasons I just named. There's lack of consolidations, very choppy. Eventually, usually at corrections, at the end of corrections, there's another big impulse to the upside. Kind of the pressure releases, and then there's just another big move to the upside, kind of like we're seeing here. Again, it's not perfect. It's just about increasing your probabilities of success. And this is the way that I've found is just really enables me to position myself for the next impulse. Obviously, this is choppy. This looks like a correction, but something could happen. The dev could rug, and it could just go to zero from here. But this gives you the best probability is looking at corrective behavior. Now, if this were to consolidate for 3 or 4 days and this just started shooting down with huge red candles, I would tell you the opposite, that it looks impulsive, and that's not something I would add to. But like I said, this looks choppy, corrective to me. Therefore, I do think it has a really good chance of going higher. Of course, you never want to go all in on one play because anything could happen, but the highest probability outcome is that this moves higher, okay? Let me go ahead and go to the Telegram really quickly and see what the and if you have any coins you want me to look at, please put it in the chat as well. I'll go ahead and look at those. I think someone was saying let's see, if you have any, please let me know if you have any requests. Let's see here. Let's go. Oh, okay, when. Someone is asking about when. I posted about when here a few days ago. A lot of these structures are actually looking very similar. When looks pretty similar to what used car does right now, or at least it has the last few days. So I'm saying when, like yesterday, when looked a lot like used car does now. So when, okay, this is not the right one, of course. When / soul. Okay. Why does this look like this? Why? Someone tell me why this looks like this. Anyway, when looks amazing right now. So yesterday, this red candle kind of screws it up. But when off the bat kind of started forming this sideways correction, this sideways consolidation, and I tweeted about it yesterday. I was saying that likely this is going to move to all-time highs, and we kind of have to see what it does at this high. It's clearing it perfectly, so I do think when likely moves higher in the next few weeks. But again, if you're in it when you got a nice airdrop, my best advice to you is just to be selling on the way up. That's what you want to be doing with anything. Always be taking partial profits, and that's exactly what I would tell you for when. I know a lot of people didn't get huge airdrops for when, but I would still be taking partial profits on the way up. And yeah, that's what I would tell you about when. As long as it doesn't reverse here in the next day or so, I would continue. I would take profits on the way up, and it probably goes higher. I will definitely look at Dogecoin for you here, Jay, as well. Let me look at Telegram real quick. So people said look at used car. Already did that. Someone said, I think your theory that all liquidity will be pulled due to jump was correct. I think all liquidity from when goes to jump, but you think it rotates in 2 weeks or before as people try to front run. Seems like many meme coins losing their support like when. So I think you're referring to what Bossman asked here recently. Again, that's Bossman's theory. My thoughts with this whole Jupiter airdrop is really, for me, I like to just look at history and what history showed us about airdrops. Now, I've been around in crypto again for 8 years. The biggest airdrops have come in the last 2 or 3. I'm talking about ApeCoin. What else? Looks Rare. Like a lot of different airdrops have come out. And to me, what usually happens with airdrops is most of the time they have a big washout at some point, whether that's right when they come out or after a few weeks or maybe like a month or so, usually, right? And it makes sense why that happens. Because when people get a lot of free money dropped on their head, that creates a ton of potential sell pressure. People have dropped a lot of these airdrops. When was a little bit different because people only got a couple $100 for the most part. But something like Jupiter, there's people that are going to get 5, 6, 7 figures sometimes with these airdrops, where yes, they're going to hold some for sure to see what happens, but that's a lot of free money that people are getting, and a lot of times it just gets dumped instantly, and then as it goes higher, that increases the chance that people are going to take profits on their free money, right? So yes, there's people buying at the beginning of these airdrops, but a lot of times what happens is, especially if it goes up for the first few weeks, there's a big washout more than often. So after that washout, that's usually the best buying opportunity for the long term. But if you're getting a large Jupiter airdrop, what I would personally do if I were you is this is what I do with all the airdrops, is I take 25 to 50% off the board immediately as soon as the airdrop starts. So you're putting away some money, you're paying yourself, and then hold the rest to see what happens. And then I would sell on the way back up. That's what I do. Because again, I'm anticipating that most of the time, whether it be after a few days, a few weeks, a few hours, there's usually a big washout, and then that's when I usually look for a long-term buy or like a swing trade. But either way, you can't go wrong with taking partial profits off the bat. Pay yourself, and then go from there, see what it does. If it goes higher, great. And if it breaks that trend I'm talking about where you get that huge washout, and it's one of the few coins that just goes up only for months, then you still have some. Either way, you're just increasing the probabilities. You're paying yourself, putting away some SOL or stable coins, whatever, but still holding exposure in case it keeps going up, right? What do you think my portfolio? Hoodie says, what do you think about my portfolio? Carmina, yeah, definitely go over win as well. So Hoodie, what should I do? My portfolio net worth is basically down half. 20 to 11 SOL. Hold for some weekday volume to come in or what? My holdings are JK, Harambe, used car. So Hoodie, normally I would tell you I don't know what JK is, and I'll look at it in a second, but you have Harambe and used car, which I have very high conviction in. So personally, I would hold. It seems like you kind of just bought the top on those two. But again, if it was any other coin, I would tell you maybe reconsider and take some off the board. but I have a lot of conviction in used car and Harambe. As long as the meme coin market does have another run, which I think it will here over the next few weeks, I would personally hold those two. I can look at JK, I'm not sure what that is, but I would hold the Harambe and used car, and I wouldn't worry too much. Personally, I would not put your entire soul bag into three coins. I'm a big believer in concentrated bets, but of course, you want to hold some soul in case those few plays don't ever work out. Now, I do think they will long term. Um, Carmina, I'll go over win here in just a second, but Big Boy says, how do you DCA meme coins? So, normally when you're talking about Bitcoin, ETH, the bigger coins that are going to be along for a while, I am a big believer in DCAing, at least buying dips, especially in bear markets. When it comes to meme coins, it's a little tough, man, because really for me, meme coins, until they're proven to last for years and years, I mean, you see even Dogecoin, which someone asked me to mark up here soon, which I will. You see Dogecoin and Pepe, both the biggest meme coins in the world, especially Dogecoin. You have the richest person in the world showing it. Dogecoin went down 90% last bear market, and it's been mostly mute this bear market rally, bull market, whatever you want to call it. My point in saying that is meme coin should be a vehicle to accumulate more SOL or ETH or whatever big long-term coin you believe in. Maybe, yes, I do believe in holding a moon bag in case you have one of the coins that 1,000 or 100x's, maybe it lasts a few years, but you shouldn't be counting on that. That's chasing lottery tickets. Us as traders who are smart and if you actually want to be profitable, you want to be taking profits aggressively. So when it comes to DCAing, it's tough, man. Personally, I would only put money in meme coins that you're good with losing or going to zero or cutting in 50% or 75% because that happens a good amount. So I personally would DCA into a meme coin in the sense that if I see a big correction, I'm adding into it. If it has corrective behavior, if it's choppy to the downside, if it meets my checklist for a correction, I'll DCA in that way. But if you mean long term, man, like it's tough with the meme coins. Not a lot of them last very long. 99% of them die. But if you're talking the whiffs or the, Pepe's or stuff like that, those, if they are correcting and showing corrective behavior, you can DCA into them over a few months. But your average meme coin, man, you want to be in and out for the most part. Maybe hold 25% of your position. And that's why it's very important to get in these coins when they're correcting or towards the beginning. Do not chase coins that are going straight up because chances are, if not the first time, pretty soon you're going to get wrecked doing that. So to answer your question, you can DCA on meme coins if they are correcting, if they're chopping down, there's no consolidation up top, and I can kind of go over that with you guys as time goes on as well as how to find those corrections. But as far as long-term DCAing, you really want to only be DCAing into the strong meme coins that have proven themselves for months and months, like Pepe, Doge, all that. The rest of them, when you're in profit, you want to take profits aggressively. Maybe hold a moon bag for the long term. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up win for Carmina. Anita Max win. Okay, so I haven't looked at this in a few days, so this will be interesting. So win. Okay, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Okay, so to me, win actually looks pretty corrective. I'm actually glad you brought this up because I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this. To me, win looks corrective. We're down, wow, it's down 60%. Though this has been mostly red candles, I do see this as a correction, meaning, I'll show you in a second here. We didn't have a lot of consolidation, right? It chopped down. It's chopped down with not a lot of consolidation. It's been choppy. It's had multiple bounces. To me, I do think this is corrective in nature. Big boy, I'll answer your question here in a second. But this is corrective in nature to me, meaning I do think that it's going to continue to the upside at some point. Maybe from here after this big, green candle. Carmina, to me, for me to confirm that this is going to go higher from here, What I'd like it to see is for it to break above this channel and then go back to like 0.033, which is like a 50% gain from here. If it were to do that, that increases the chances by a lot that it's going to go to all-time highs, which I do think happens. You know, this is one of the most popular meme coins right now. But for that confirmation for you, I would look for it to go to 0.033, kind of shift out of this channel with the big green candle, and then from there, there's a really good chance it goes to all-time highs. I would put it at like a 75% chance or higher that it does go to all-time highs from here, just because of how relevant this coin is. But this is just a great example of, even on these big meme coins that everybody's talking about, you want to be taking profits as it goes up. Because say you got in, you know, down here, you want to be taking profits on the way up. Because even if you think it's going to last 5 years, 10 years, you think it's going to be around forever, look at this big correction that I had, 60%. If you would have taken profits, not only would you have secured profits here, but you could buy back way more, way safer down here. So number one thing I would say from here is use this coin as an example. I do think WIN goes up higher from here, but use this as a learning lesson of even the big coins have massive corrections. Always be taking partial profits. That's the biggest thing for me. So right here, say I was in down here, WIN went all the way up here, I would have taken 50, 75% of my bag here, held the rest, waited for a correction, and then now you can buy back way safer, way better of a risk to reward. You paid yourself. Don't be the person who gets in down here and bag holds it to zero. Now, I don't think this is going to go to zero, but you get my point. Big boy, to answer your question, man, where you want to be quote-unquote DCAing, meaning averaging into a position, is during corrections like this. To me, again, corrections, biggest thing is lack of consolidation. Corrections come down super quickly. No consolidation, right? They have bounces in between. As you can see, it's bouncing, forming these channel-like structures. And then the final confirmation is consolidation at the bottom and a shift out of the channel. So as soon as I see WIN shift out of this channel here, that's a very good chance it's going to go back to all-time highs. I still think there's a great chance right now. If you believe in WIN, now is the time to average in, not when everybody's chasing it when it's going to the upside. For anybody who just came in here, I've seen a few people joining. What's up? I appreciate you coming in. My name is Bren. I'm just going over some meme coins. If you have any suggestions, please leave it in the chat, and I will definitely go over the chart. How would the JUP airdrop affect blue chip meme coins? That's a great question. I think I went over it here just a second ago. Maybe I didn't go into that part. But it's tough. Like I said, I really like to look at history for these airdrops in these situations. History shows us that most of the time airdrops have a big wipeout at some point, and that's because, again, a lot of potential sell pressure. People are getting a lot of free money, sometimes in the tune of 6-7 figures. And especially as that coin appreciates, there's just more and more chance that people are going to dump, and eventually it has a big washout. Now, how does it affect other coins normally? It could go either way. I've seen sometimes where like Looks Rare, ApeCoin, a few of the other coins did pump other coins. It did kind of, pump other coins, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the liquidity just drains into ETH. Now, this time around, I do think that, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, everything, which I'll go over here in a second, they do look very bullish. So I do think that we're in a bullish environment. Therefore, I think that Jupiter could go up in the short term and memes at the same time. So I'm kind of bullish on everything right now. We've kind of seen an everything rally up into this point, meaning mostly everything memes, altcoins, Bitcoin, everything's kind of been going up in unison. And I do think that that happens until proven otherwise. So to answer your question, I don't know that if Jupiter dumps, I do think that meme coins, regardless, are going to do well. And again, that's not every meme coin, but I think a lot of them are going to do well over the next few weeks. And then there's a good chance maybe that the Jupiter airdrop, if there is like a liquidity injection, maybe a lot of that does go into memes. That would be great to see. But history shows us that it could go either way. And yeah, no worries, Carmina. I appreciate you being on. Let me know if you guys have any other chart requests here. I'm going to look in the chat. Okay, someone else asked something. I'll check it here in a second. But yeah, hope everyone having a great day so far. Again, we do these live streams every Sunday. I did have a bit of a technical difficulty here earlier, so I had to restart the stream. Okay, what does the airdrop mean for the blue chip? Okay, somebody already asked that for sure. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna go look at whiff real quick here too, and I will next week try to get some suggestions for the charts ahead of time, so I can kind of just go over them. But with 324 mil market cap now. Okay. So I called whiff here a few days ago. As you can see, it formed a nice corrective structure, meaning we had a lack of a consolidation, came down, chopped, pushed out of that channel. Now, to me, on the very low time frames, I think that this is another smaller correction. Again, because we see no consolidation, it's been chopping down slowly, meaning sell pressures drying up. I do think that this moves higher here in the next few days. And this is what I mean by an everything rally. Kind of everything's setting up to go continue to the upside. And obviously that doesn't mean everything's going to go up forever. You want to be taking profits on the way up. A lot of meme coin callers, a lot of these guys who do these live streams or will tweet on Twitter, they won't tell you how to take profits because they're trying to protect their own bags, right? They want to be the ones who are taking profits first instead of teaching you how to do the same thing. And here in Bossman Calls, we're kind of not just trying to be a meme coin caller channel who just dumps on their people. We also want to be as well as a call channel, we want to be a place that teaches people good habits and ways to doing things. And so for me, biggest thing, especially in meme coins that are very volatile, take profits on the way up. Now, I do think whiff makes this and goes to new highs over the next few weeks. So I would look for whiff to go higher. Jay Tremblay is thinking, I think the problem is a lack of liquidity coming into Sol. When I look on chain metrics combined with the fact that we have whiff, bonk, and win sucking liquidity. I would agree that there's just not a lot of money in crypto in general compared to 2021, 2020. I don't know if you guys were around back then, but all the BNB, Binance Smart Chain coins, a lot of them would go to hundreds of millions, billions of dollars every day. Kind of what we're seeing in crypto is not a lot of normie, quote unquote normie money yet, meaning people outside of crypto coming in yet. So therefore, it's just kind of a hot potato game of money moving from one to another coin to another coin to another coin, right? And I think that's going to continue, and for the near future, because I'm more of a believer that we do get like one more big washout before the real bull market starts, because we're going to get a recession and a few other things. I digress, but I do agree, Jay, that most of the time we are seeing kind of a hot ball of money. I do think that that's why you want to take profits on these coins quickly when you have them. But I do think that with Harambe, used car, all the ones that are naming that are kind of quote unquote blue chips that are still relevant are going to continue to run based on the charts. And then Richard said, didn't when drop show that meme coins tend to drop because everyone is chasing with their liquidity? That's a good question. I think meme coins like used car and all these were correcting before Win dropped. There's kind of just been a kind of a big meme coin correction for the bigger coins over the last few weeks, even before this. You could argue that has a little bit to do with Win. But then again, we still have seen some coins pump. We saw whiff pump. We've seen Harambe. So it's just kind of hard to say if When contributed to, a lack of liquidity. It's tough to say, man. But the charts are telling me that a lot of these coins are going to continue to run. For the few people who just came on, what's up, guys? My name's Bren. We run these live streams every Sunday, so I appreciate you coming on. If you do have any chart requests, go ahead and write it in the chat or the Telegram post that I made a little bit earlier. Shows you where everything is flowing, says Jay. Yeah, I'm not too big of an on-chain metrics kind of guy, so that's why I'm stoked to have you guys, people like you. I have started to watch order books more, look on chain a little bit more. but I'm more of a chart guy. Again, what I look on in the charts, which is identifying corrective structures and impulsive structures, peaks, all that, it shows a lot of times it's a reflection of sell and buy pressure. So that's kind of what I focus on. Um, and yeah, so let's see if I get any more things in the Telegram up here. Let's let this load here. As soon as the meme coin, we don't have any more meme coin requests. I am gonna go over Bitcoin and ETH if you guys want to stick around for that. I know a lot of people are focused on meme coins in here, but it is important to look at ETH, Bitcoin, Sol, and all that. It kind of drives the market. When ETH, Bitcoin, Sol are healthy, that usually means there's going to be a healthy meme coin market. There's more liquidity to go around. It's a reflection of the health of the crypto market in general. So, also, are you able to chart used car? Yes, I did go over that earlier, but I will go that over for you real quickly again, Richard. So, used car, to me, this is consolidation, which again, I told you guys earlier, a lot of times consolidation means a major top, but that's usually when consolidation stays at a high for a period of time. To me, this is corrective consolidation. Sometimes consolidations can be corrections as well. And then what kind of adds to that, my thesis and my conviction in that, is this correction structure into this low we see here. To me, again, this means sell pressure is drying up, and eventually buy pressure is going to take back over and probably push used car back to all-time highs, possibly higher, over the next few weeks. All you kind of have to do is just wait for a few big buys to kind of change this direction. Now, if this were to crush right through this low, like from right here, I would have felt differently, but the fact that it's chopping slowly, showing sell pressure is drying up, I do think that in the next few days probably, we're going to see used car head back to the upside. Now, if used car were to come back down here, like it dropped 50% from here again, that would be a different story. But again, to me, this choppy nature that it's doing into this low, barely broke this low, I think in the next few weeks, next few days likely, is going to push used car back to the upside. Obviously, I'll keep you guys posted as far as that goes. Check the website. Jay, what website are you talking about? But yeah, Richard, I hope that answers your question. I do think that used car moves back to the upside in the next few days. Should be good for a nice 3 to 5x. I've been accumulating what would invalidate my thesis if it dropped like another 50%. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. Big Boy says, do you think Win keeps running into the next week? So I went over Win earlier. Again, it's just hard to tell. Like I said, if you look back at history, usually there's a big washout in these major airdrops. But again, Win's a little bit different versus something where Sol, ApeCoin, all the hyped airdrops of the past. Most of the time, people are getting 6-7 figures from that. It usually is concentrated among a few people. So a lot of times they see those big washouts. Whereas Win was kind of distributed to a lot more people. Some people I know only got $100, $30, $50, $1,000, where that means they're more likely to hold it and see what happens versus dumping a lot of the free money. So I think that's kind of why we're seeing Win just go straight to the upside. But even that, I think it'll get to a certain point where people are at 5 or 10x from their free bags that they got, where sell pressure will take over. But in the meantime, there's nothing that's showing that yet. My advice always on these coins, whether it's a big airdrop or any coin in general, is take profits on the way up. Pay yourself, take profits, and then hold a moon bag to see if it continues going to the upside. Because it could always go higher, but you never want to be all in or all out, unless you just don't believe in the project or you're up like 100x and you're good with your profits. Take profits, take partial profits, 25, 50% of your bag, hold the rest in case it keeps going. You get the best of both worlds. Not only are you locking in some gains, but you're also holding some exposure in case it keeps going up. You can't really lose that way. A lot of people, the biggest problems people have in this meme coin game and in crypto in general is they either hold their entire bag and round trip it or they sell everything too quickly. That's why we take partial profits, meaning we're taking partials off the board. So you lock in some gains and then you still hold exposure and in case it keeps going up. you defend against both of those things. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Please drop any other requests you have in the chat, though. I don't see any more meme coins. If I don't get any more meme coins in the next 10 or 15 seconds, I'll go ahead and move to Bitcoin and ETH and the other coins. I'll go ahead and look at JK. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'll click on this. Let's get JK. If somebody wants to tell me what JK is, that'd be great. I don't know what the hell that is. If it's really obvious, then forgive me, but there's so much going on. Sometimes I don't know these abbreviations. Any more meme coin? I'm trying to think if there's any major ones. I'll go over Doge here in a second. Obviously, someone requested that a second ago. I'm trying to think, is there any other majors? One that I would look at, and again, this is higher risk because it's already kind of at all-time highs. What I would keep your eye on is this Puppets, Bitcoin Puppets. Obviously, it's a coin that it's a coin that is obviously made after the whole Bitcoin Puppets NFT craze. It's at all-time highs, so I definitely wouldn't put in much right now. I think it does have a good chance of going higher, but if it corrects again like this, something like this, where it corrects 50%, I would keep an eye on this. There's a lot of bigger accounts, a lot of whales and stuff looking at this. In one of my Twitter chats, which again is not my chat, but it's a chat that I like kind of have a lot of good friends in, some guy actually started the coin. This guy from China. He posted at 3K in the chat. Of course, I was busy on the phone. Missed it completely missed this move up. A lot of my friends took, a few sold to like 100 sold. So crazy. A lot of times in meme coins, we don't want to be chasing these kind of coins, but sometimes you just get lucky and you get 100x in a few hours. So I would keep your eye on this. Again, it's $1 million coin, but say it corrects 50% here in a nice corrective structure. I would keep your eye on this Bitcoin Puppets coin. Smorf, yes, I'll go ahead and look at Smorf for you. Smorf is another big one that was big a few days ago. So let's go ahead and see what it's doing right now. I do see that it's come down 60% today. And again, just preface any of these explanations that I'm giving you is that like a lot of these coins, the charts can tell you a lot about buy and sell pressure, but it also has to do obviously with how involved the people still are the dev still building, are the Telegram still popping, has the dev rugged it, like those different things matter as well too. But if all of those things are still in place, people are pushing it, people are still talking about it, the charts can still tell you a lot. So Smorf did consolidate here for a little bit before it dropped, which is a sign that a major top could be in. It consolidated here for, it's not too bad. It's like 14 hours of consolidation. Nothing too crazy. Now it's come down really hard here now. What did it almost dropped 90%. I'll go ahead and tell you most of the time when meme coins drop 90%, Sol, sometimes it's a lot more common to see a Sol meme coin drop 80 or 90% and still recover. But I'm not seeing too much about Smorf here today in the last few days. Now, could it come back? 100%. What I'd be looking for this coin to come back is to go sideways here for at least a few more hours, break above this channel, probably like 2x again from here, and that'd be a really good chance that it's going to continue higher. If you were to ask me to look at this like tomorrow or the next day when there's like another few more days that's gone by, probably be a better picture. But if you're bullish on Smorf, if you're still holding it, I would look for it to come like 2x from here above this channel to really feel good about it. Hope that answers your question. JK, just kitten. Okay, yeah, I was about to look at that. It didn't look like it had too much liquidity, but I'll look at it in a second. Gap. So I know this is one that Boss Man posted yesterday. I think he definitely prefaced it that it was a high risk play. Any of these sub 100K market cap coins, you want to be very. Oh wow, is it up? 53K. Okay, you want to be very careful with these sub 100K market cap coins. That's why we try to stay away from those coins unless we have a good. Wow, this actually looks pretty good. Unless we have really good high conviction in those, we tend to stay away from sub 100K market cap coins as far as calling it in the group. But as you can see here, we called it, I think, around down here at like 2.5x, then proceeded to correct again. And then now it is breaking out of its correction, and I can see it going to all-time highs from here. So if you're holding this, personally, I do think since, we're kind of leading kind of helping out with the community takeover and all that, I do think there's a good chance we get all-time highs from here above 100K again. But like always, I'll tell you, take profits on the way up, especially if it makes new highs here. I personally will be selling a bit of my bag. Kind of what I always do is at all-time highs, previous all-time highs, I always take 25 to 50% off. Because like we saw with Harambe, most of the time you're either going to get some kind of pullback at the all-time high, previous all-time high, or sometimes a major top and it double tops. So good tip, word to the wise, take profits at the prior all-time highs. So that's what I think about GAT. I think it's looking very impulsive to the upside. I do think it probably makes new all-time highs, but take profits on the way up, guys. Smorf, ZK Swap Finance. That's funny, ZK Swap. I think there's so many coins out here. I'm trying to see if this is the one that I was looking at a while back. ZK Swap. No, I don't think this was. ZK Swap, I assume it's this one. If you're still listening, Jay, is ZK Swap on Sol? Is it on ETH? I assume it's the one on ETH, right? Is my screen frozen? Tell me if you guys can hear me. I do actually see my screen's frozen on here. Let's see if it comes back. Yeah, I don't know. My screen might have frozen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And instead of fixing it and spending 10 minutes wasting everybody's time, I think I'm just going to end the stream here, guys. I hope you guys can still hear me. We did go over a lot of meme coins today. Next week, I'll go over Bitcoin, ETH, and all that. And I actually did just order a new laptop. That is coming in the mail here in the next few days. So I will have a new laptop mic, all that. That'll be a more well put together stream next time. Oh, is it good? Okay, we're good. Never mind. Okay, scrap what I just said. I'm going to go ahead and keep going a little bit longer. What I'm going to do is go over Bitcoin and ETH really quickly here. But yeah, to finish what I was saying just a second ago, I am going to have a new laptop and stuff here the next few days, as well as a new mic, some other new equipment that'll make these streams more efficient and better. Let's just go to Bitcoin really quickly here. Okay, I'll go over ZK Swap here in just a second, brother. As far as Bitcoin goes, so I've been saying for the last few weeks that this move down in Bitcoin is a correction that's going to lead us back to 47 to 49K one more time. What told me that is Bitcoin came down suddenly after the ETF, which is another good lesson. Kind of notice how everybody was extremely bullish on the ETF. Obviously, it ended up being a sell the news event temporarily. I was calling that for a while. I was saying, okay, we're going to come down to 49K, see a correction. That's exactly what happened. Now, this move down, though it was pretty big, it's almost a, 20% move. it is still corrected to me. As you can see, it came down quickly, made multiple chops, made this channel-like structure. Now we broke out of the channel. And what I think we're going to see on Bitcoin here is we're going to get another move up to 47 to 49K. And there's a very good chance that this is going to form a double top that will lead down, to me, a major reversal. That's been my base case for months. Back when Bitcoin was at 33, 34K, I was definitely bullish, and I was telling everybody we're going to keep going up. But to me, that this has been my base case for a while, that we were going to get up to 47, 49K, around 50K, and then we're going to see a major reversal. This is still my base case. To me, this move down here is just the beginning of a big M double top pattern, and I'll be watching for 47 to 49K. Right now, I'm long. I've been long down here, building a position since after we broke 40K. I'm long here, and I will be taking profits on my long when we get up to 47 to 49K Bitcoin. From there, I do think we see a major reversal. You'll see me, I'm a little bit different than most people. A lot of people think we're just going to see an all-out bull market right now. To me, the whole macro situation, the whole, what we're seeing in TradFi, stuff like that, I think risk assets are going to top, or we're going to see a major washout. Now, what would invalidate my thesis and everything if Bitcoin just continued up to 50K, 52K? To me, then I would admit I was wrong, and then the chances we go up to all-time higher. But for me, watching 8 years of chart patterns, kind of seeing how this stuff plays out, I do think the highest probability scenario is that Bitcoin tops around 47 to 49K. That's 125 to 135 dollar SOL, maybe around 27 to $3,000 ETH. From there, I think we do get a major correction. Obviously, I'll keep you guys posted on that, but that personally is my base case and what I'm going off of. Same kind of thing with SOL. I'll go ahead and pull that up for you guys really quick as well. Alrighty, so Coinbase I think is the one that I have. Hopefully, okay, perfect. So same kind of thing. I've been accumulating. SOL was just such a beautiful correction. As you can see here, no consolidation up top, choppy behavior, multiple lows, multiple highs, channel-like structure, broke out of it here. To me, this is going to lead to SOL going to 25 to 135. At that point, I think there's a really good chance that it double tops here, comes down as well. We'll have to see what happens at that point. But to me, I'm very bullish on SOL going into the next few weeks. I'm long this as well. I'll be taking profits on the way up. But I do think SOL comes down here at that point. But still very bullish for like a 30-35% move here, which should push meme coins up in the short term. Really quickly, I'll go over ETH as well. Same kind of thing, guys. That's why I call this an everything rally. Everything's kind of going to go up in unison. That's kind of how it has been the last 6 months or so. Same kind of thing here with ETH. I do think ETH makes it around the 2,700, 2,800. This is another corrective structure at its point there. I do think it comes up to 2,800 to 3,000, then sees a major reversal. So that's my base case for all the majors. I'm going to go ahead and go to the SPX, which is the S&P 500 for those of you who don't know. The S&P 500 and crypto aren't 100% correlated, especially over like a few month period. But over like a few year period, they're definitely, when risk assets, they move up together for the most part, right? I do think the S&P at some point here is going to top out. We did break the all-time highs on the S&P 500. I do think at some point we're going to see a major reversal, and then same kind of thing, major top that's going to take us pretty low on the S&P 500, in line with the recession. I don't want to get too much into it because the stream's been kind of long as it is, but I do think we get a major reversal on the S&P 500, and then every time that risk assets have come down, every risk-off scenario in the S&P 500's history, crypto has followed. So I think they're going to kind of come into unison, come down. We're going to see a major reversal on S&P 500, again, because of a recession. DXY, which is the dollar index. Again, assets and the dollar aren't directly inversely correlated, but a lot of times they are. When you get a big major move up in the dollar, it usually means that assets come down and vice versa. To me, this is a big correction we've seen on the dollar. That's why we've seen assets go up the last few years. I do think that the dollar comes down one more time, forms a major bottom, and at that point sets up for a big move up. So this kind of supports my thesis that I think assets are going to see a major reversal here soon, including crypto. Biggest reason why is because I think the dollar here bottoms. We have a bigger correction here. We have a smaller correction within it. I think we get one more low in the dollar, which pushes crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, meme coins, S&P 500 up one more time for the next few weeks to a few months. Then we bottom, recession starts, or some kind of black swan, and we see a major reversal in assets. So whenever you see someone talk about DXY, that's the dollar index. Like I said, usually when assets, crypto stocks, heavy metals go up, the dollar comes down and vice versa. Real quickly, I'll go over ETH, Bitcoin. I'm just kind of rushing through these ones here because the stream's been a little long. Honestly, my voice feels like it's going to fucking run out. But ETH, Bitcoin, it could go either way as it's coming down. As you can see, it's coming down now. I think it's going to chop in this channel here for the next several months. But eventually, I'm very bullish on ETH, Bitcoin. I think Ethereum will become the number one coin in the world as far as market cap goes. Flippin's Bitcoin. I'm very bullish on ETH, Bitcoin long term. And for those of you who don't know, this is the ratio between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Kind of shows the growth of Ethereum versus Bitcoin over time. I do think it's going to go to all-time highs. We do see Ethereum flipping Bitcoin in 2025, 2026, maybe end of 2024. For now, though, it could go either way. Don't have a strong opinion. I think it stays in this channel, eventually shoots up and makes new all-time highs. And again, Ethereum will become the number one major market cap coin in the entire world. Let's look at Doge. Someone requested that earlier. I apologize, whoever called for me to look at Doge. That was a long time ago. So if you're still in here, I appreciate your patience. Doge, very long term, I'm very bullish on Doge. It's the one that started it all. It was the meme coin ahead of its time. I think long term that Doge does get to $1, fulfills that prophecy finally. Whether hopefully, I think that Elon will still keep chilling it. He kind of understands that crypto's not in a bull run right now, so he probably not. I mean, it's in a bull run of sorts, but it's not a full on bull run. He has other things to worry about right now with Twitter, and Tesla's not doing great right now. But eventually, I think that he'll include it in the Twitter payments. Make it a big thing with that. We've been consolidating for 2.5 years here. A year and a half on Dogecoin. I do think eventually, likely after another washout, is going to push to $1. This is something that I am going to accumulate long term. It's kind of just like has a great risk to reward. Not only is it 10x from the all-time high, but it's just like I think it's solidified, especially now that meme coins have kind of solidified themselves outside of Doge. It's the king. It's something that's going to be around for a long time. I faded Dogecoin more than anybody a few years ago, but now I definitely have to admit that it has solidified itself and will likely push to all-time highs at some point. So that's that. Let's look at Pepe, and if there's not any other requests, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here in a second. Okay, so no requests. Let's go over Pepe here real quick, and then I'm going to end the stream. My voice literally feels like it's going to die. Pepe, same kind of thing. In another major correction, Pepe's been mostly mute since October. It had a nice big run here for like a month and a half, like 3x, and then it's kind of been down. I do think long-term Pepe is going to make new highs, surpass $1 billion again, and do very well. Very short term, it could go either way. If it's shot above this channel and like went up 30% from here, I think that's a good chance that it makes a run. But I could honestly see it just chopping down in this channel for months, and But whenever it does break above this channel here, I do think it sees all-time highs. But for anybody who's still on here, I know there's only a few people left. I appreciate you for staying on. Anybody who came on at any point of this channel, of this live stream, I appreciate you. My voice is dead. Next week, I'll make sure, again, I'm going to have a new laptop and won't be having as many issues or any issues. And then yeah, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to go ahead and do this every week.